Hi everybody, this is Monica Health. Just wanted to do a quick update on some testing concepts regarding false positives and false negatives. I'm hearing a bit of confusion out there regarding how good the test is, and just wanted to hopefully clear some of that up. These concepts are known in testing circles as sensitivity and specificity of testing. So the specificity says how good is that test at truly telling us if you don't have the disease, do you truly not have the disease? So this is how specific is the test for that specific disease. And I can tell you that in the terms of the COVID test that we're using at our testing site and that most places are using, it's a PCR test or a nucleic acid amplification test that is based on genetic sequencing of the virus. So the RNA virus, it's very specific to COVID. So the idea that it would match something else is it's very unlikely to happen. So if you get a positive test, basically what this means is if you get a positive test, you need to treat it as if you have a positive test because you have a positive test. So that means you need to isolate for 10 days. Please let us know who your contacts are so we can start that notification process. Please don't go to parties and that kind of thing. And really, there's no need to get multiple other tests to try to prove that you didn't have COVID because a positive test really is quite a good indicator that you do in fact have COVID. Likewise, a negative test is not as great. So this speaks to the sensitivity of the test. A negative test for COVID depends on a lot of different factors. Like, did the person who swabbed your nose, did they rotate it for 15 minutes on each side to get every possible chance? Or was it too early or too late in your disease process? Has your disease moved somewhere else, perhaps out of your nasal cavity? So there's a lot of reasons why you might have a false negative test. So this is why we kind of stress that it's not a perfect test, it's a point in time test, so that just tells us if they found COVID on that particular day. It's still a helpful test. I still encourage you to get tested if you're worried. But when we're talking about the highest likelihood of finding the disease, what we advise people who've been in contact with somebody with confirmed COVID is that they get tested on the 5th day from their last exposure to that person, because the 5th day is the highest likelihood that you're going to have a positive test, just by and large. Not 100% for everybody, but for the most part, the 5th day after exposure is when you're most likely to have a positive test. You could still have a positive test on the 7th day or the 3rd day, but the 5th day you're going to be the most likely of actually catching it. Not that we want you to have a positive test, that's not the goal, but if you do in fact have COVID, we want to know and we want to be able to catch it, one, for your protection so that you know, and two, so that we can start calling your contacts and notifying people and getting ahead of this thing. So that's the short and dirty on sensitivity and specificity of testing. Thanks so much. Bye.